That big brown stadium off to the distance is Lynn Familly Stadium. It is home to Louisville City FC and Racing Louisville, and it has been home to both of the clubs since the year 2020. That's the Louisville City FC logo and the Racing Louisville logo. One's purple, one's pink. I kind of like the racing name a little bit better, considering that Kentucky is known as like a racehorse capital. I think I like that name a little bit better than Louisville City FC. I think racing is more appropriate for Louisville. Here's a good shot of the stadium. You see the brown curving right there. That is meant to replicate the brown barrels of whiskey that is made here in Louisville. So it's like the brown barrels, and the people who make the whiskey and put it in the brown barrels are called Coopers, which is what their fan section or their supporter section is called, the Coopers. And the reason why it's called Lynn Familly Stadium is because a business leader named Mark Lynn bought the naming rights for it. And as you can see, the bridge is off in the background right there. So this stadium was actually supposed to open up in 2020. The first games were supposed to be April 11th against Birmingham Legion, and also a fixture for the 2020 US Open Cup. However, unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, they had to cancel all the games, and they did not play their first game until July 12th, 2020, with a home match against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and capacity was only limited to 30%, so 4,600 spectators showed out. And then in 2021, the team managed a great home field record, going 10-1-1 during the regular season. During their first playoff run here at Lynn Familly Stadium, they beat the Pittsburgh Riverhounds 2-0 in front of 4,900 people. This was back in 2020. And then in the next round, they beat St. Louis FC. And no, not St. Louis City, but St. Louis FC. They beat them 2-0 also in front of 4,900 people. But then unfortunately in the conference finals here against the Tampa Bay Rowdies, they would end up losing 2-1. So they made it to the conference finals their first, 6 years? It's pretty impressive, man. What a beautiful stadium. I love how it like opens up over here too. We'll walk around and I'll show you that. Look, I don't know what that means, but it says mom water. Fruit infused vodka water. Okay, so that's what that means. Fruit infused vodka water. Wow, this is the best shot right here. Look how it opens up. You can see the steep stands over there. That's where the Coopers sit. Right there in the middle is where I'm going to be sitting. I got a front row ticket right where the players walk out. So, in the next year, in 2021, the year that Louisville City went 10-1-1 at home, they played Miami FC in the first round here in front of 9,000 fans, and they won 1-0. They also beat Charlotte Independence in the next round 1-0 in front of 9,155 fans. And then in their 7th straight Eastern Conference final, they had to travel to Al Lang Stadium, and they ended up losing 3-2. So again, still 7 years in, they're still going to the Eastern Conference finals. The next year, in 2022, they would finish in first place in the Eastern Conference with 72 points. That was good enough, obviously, to get them the #1 seed, where they ended up getting a bye in the first round. And they would go on to play the Pittsburgh Riverhounds in front of 8,500 people. And the game finished 2-2, but they won 5-3 on penalties to go back to their 8th straight Eastern Conference final. They would end up beating the Tampa Bay Rowdies right here in front of almost 12,000 people. But then they would end up losing to San Antonio FC 3-1 in the USL finals. So in 8 years of existence, the men have made the Eastern Conference finals every single year. They have made 4 championships, and they've won 2. I mean, without a doubt, this has to be the best second division side in all of America. It's gotten so good that Louisville is actually considered a dark horse for an MLS spot. I mean, this stadium is already good to go. I mean, you could fit 15,000 people in here. Hell, that's more than probably the Houston Dynamo or the Chicago Fire are drawing this year. There's a more zoomed in shot of where the Coopers stand. That big wall, kind of like Borussia Dortmund's. That seems to be the new thing in America. Build yourself a wall for all your fans. The stadium is also home to Racing Louisville, which is the women's club here in Louisville. Their original name was actually supposed to be Proof Louisville FC. It references the local bourbon whiskey industry by using the term proof as a measure of alcohol content. But they ended up changing the name to Racing Louisville. They're also owned by the same people who own Louisville City FC. They made their debut in the NWSL Challenge Cup, where unfortunately they finished at the bottom of the East Division with 2 losses and 2 draws. And they made their home debut here at Lynn Familly Stadium on May 15th, 2021 in a scoreless draw against Kansas City. And again, it is named in reference to the city's horse racing venues, including the Kentucky Derby at Churchill Downs. And in the year 2022, they finished in 9th place out of 12 teams. So they haven't done a lot yet, but that's okay because they've only been around for 2 years. So hopefully they can duplicate the men's success here in the following years. This is the largest soccer venue in the entire state of Kentucky, which I think is appropriate because if there's any city that's put the state of Kentucky on the soccer map, it's definitely Louisville. This is also going to be home of the 2023 College Cup, which is the Final Four of soccer in America, in college soccer in America, I'm sorry. And it will be hosting the men's tournament in 2023. So I think that's December 2023. So what, like 6 or 7 months from now, the College Cup will be here. That'll be pretty cool. So it's already hosted the men's and women's team, Louisville City FC and Racing Louisville respectively. It's hosted a women's national team match, and it's also hosted I think Bayern Munich's women's team was here. Who else? Paris Saint-Germain's team was here. and it will now host the College Cup. So already in its 3-year history, it's already had some prestigious events and some prestigious teams come and play here. It is a premier soccer venue in the Midwest. One of the nicest soccer stadiums in America, I'd have to say. You guys can see the Louisville skyline off in the background. And if you just turn to the right here, you got Lynn Familly Stadium. So you watch a football match, and then go out on the town and have some of that bourbon whiskey that they replicate their roofs after.